Now, from New York City, Public Broadcasting's David Brancaccio.
Welcome to Now, Boots on the Ground. No matter how you feel about the war in Iraq, you have to have respect for the troops that find themselves ordered into harm's way, like the Marines, who make up Battalion Landing Team 1-2. Filmmaker Brian Palmer has been embedded with them on 3 separate occasions. He's just back from Western Iraq with this report on what is working and what is not working in the efforts to keep the lid on the insurgency.
1,200 U.S. Marines and sailors spent a tough 2 months in and around the Iraqi city of Heat earlier this year. The story of these Marines is a story of successes and failures in the daily struggle to crush an enemy they seldom see. Heat, a city of 30,000, is about 70 miles west of Baghdad. It's in Anbar province, a largely Sunni area and one of the country's most violent. Here, as in most places in Iraq, separating friend from foe is a tough and deadly task. America's boots on the ground here are the grunts of 1st Battalion, 2nd Marines, known as BLT 1-2. And this winter, it's their turn at the tip of the spear of American policy in Iraq.
We have to look at it like we're saving lives, which we were, whether civilian or it's coalition forces.
That's 25-year-old Staff Sergeant David Marino of Milo, Maine, here in full battle gear. Marino runs a platoon of 40 Marines. One way he measures success here is by the number of illegal weapons they find.
You know, I think they say for every 155 round you find or one grenade you find, you're saving 2 or 3 lives.
Sometimes locals tip off the Marines about hidden weapons, but most of the time they find them by hunting across large stretches of land. These sweeps can last days.
You can tell on the berm where somebody's been digging, where they've been digging, it's wet, and everything else is dry.
Marine combat engineers with metal detectors accompany the Marines on some missions, but they're in short supply. Only 2 for more than 100 men on this sweep. Even store-bought detectors from home would be better than this. Grunts search for buried weapons and roadside bombs the old-fashioned way. They turn over rocks and they dig in the... During this sweep, the Marines strike pay dirt. They dig up a series of caches, a heavy machine gun, rocket launchers, and 3 automatic rifles. Serious weaponry.
Anybody have any idea what kind of automatic rifles those are?
Tell them it's 7.62 Belgian family.
For BLT 1-2, finding these weapons is proof that something has been accomplished. The Marines here are strangers in a strange land. They don't know the culture, they don't know the language, and they don't know a lot about the enemy. To communicate with the local people, the Marines rely on interpreters, but there simply aren't enough of them, so they often go it alone.
Speak English at all? A little bit? No English. No English.
The Marines have cobbled together a mix of English and Arabic slang. Ali Baba means bad guy.
Have you seen anything, Alibaba, in the area? No. No Alibaba.
No Alibaba. I'm on.
There's only one interpreter for the 100-plus Marines on this leg of the sweep. 0700 hours. Another day, another patrol gets ready to roll out. To keep the enemy off balance, the Marines plan patrols for random times of day. They rarely follow the same route twice.
All right, nothing's changed in the past 24 hours as far as updated intel goes. Since we're back to our 6-hour patrol, regular standard, I'm going to head up to the south first.
Staff Sergeant Marino has a history with the Corps. His father, now 82, fought on Guadalcanal. His brother is also a Marine.
Me, Marino.
Marino lays out the plan for the next patrol. It'll be 4 vehicles and roughly a dozen Marines.
We'll be rolling down further north. The next cutoff road goes down towards the river. I just want to search the area, see if there's any other landmines out there.
Each patrol boils down to pretty much the same thing. Hunt for illegal weapons, roadside bombs, and enemy forces. It's a 24-hour-a-day cycle. Most of the Marine bases are smack in the middle of populated areas. The Marines are separated from local citizens and their elusive foes by a few slabs of concrete and strands of razor wire. Captain Moni Laub, Bravo Company's commanding officer, runs Firm Base 5.
This is High El Becker. It's a neighborhood of the city of Hit, very ancient city in Iraq. There is talk of Hit being where the Ark was constructed, legendary type stuff like that.
But most of these Marines are more concerned with surviving day to day than with learning the history of heat. Threats to these Marines come from every direction and in many forms. Marines never know when they'll walk into a neighborhood where hidden gunmen are determined to kill them. This sniper attack was a hasty affair. The shooter fires a few rounds, and then he disappears. But the greatest danger by far to Marines and to civilians is the ubiquitous IED, the improvised explosive device.
They just